Hello, my beautiful souls. The Awakened Dreamer here to talk about a dream I had the other night. I was going to do it the day after, but life happened, and so I'm just needing to get this out to you. A message for the collective, if you will. This happens every once in a blue moon, but so basically, first of all, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But so I have a multitude of vivid dreams per night, okay? And this one in particular, I remember specifically. I'm standing in what felt like an old and almost an antique house. A spirit saying that's accurate. It was just an old house, it had that sort of almost haunted house feeling to it. And so basically, I'm standing in what felt like a family room, a living room area. And I had this random family behind me. It wasn't my family, okay? And I was looking down. I do remember that. It started like that. And then I look up and there's a mirror to my right. We're right by a wall in that living room, family room area. And basically, in that reflection, I see to our right behind us on what looked like an area rug, with a couch and a very old fashioned looking couch, a big eight, the number eight being written in paint on the floor, okay? And the weirdest part was there was nobody actually painting it. It literally felt like it was straight out of a movie where you would see like a spirit or an entity painting something, you know what I mean? Out of thin air. And so that basically happened when the eight happened. I looked back behind me. I didn't look. Yeah, was looking in the mirror, and then I looked behind me and the family wasn't there. Okay. I do feel like there was partially some messages for me personally, but this instantly felt as if it was a collective message that needed to come out. And I do believe we're going to pull a couple tarot cards after from the Mystic Mondays deck to further speak upon it. But when I first woke up, I like to mention what I first connected to the imagery, if you will. And with the number eight obviously being the most significant part, it does speak upon, if you think about it, you turn it on its side, it's the infinity symbol, okay? So it speaks upon infinite possibilities, being able to dig for that inner strength and believe in what you're capable of, being an individual. But let's pull some cards and let spirit speak upon this collective message, all right? Bear with me as I attach the microphone. Some shuffling. What else do we have to speak upon this dream? Queen of Swords and the Princess of Swords, not in that order, okay? Um, you might feel like things have been a bit backwards recently, or you're taking a step back to propel yourself forward. With the Princess of Swords and the Queen of Swords, you were drawn to this reading to understand that you're learning more about what you need to cut out, what you need to stand up for, and what's not worth your time in order to better understand the possibilities that are available for you, to reach your potential, so you can exceed it, right? And re-examining the situations in your life to ask yourself, where am I at this point in my life? What situations have I wrapped myself up in? Even groups of people, and are they allowing me, or not allowing, because you do have control of your situation. It should feel that way, but is it giving me the space, the ability to propel forward and reach, if not exceed my potential, to uh, make something out of those possibilities that are available for you at this time and moving forward? And or is it hindering you, or are they hindering you? And I do feel like a lot of us recently have been sort of putting our hand up and saying that's enough, or just like I don't want to hear it, or just maybe taking the silent route just to have less drama or just not to escalate a situation. But the whole reason you were drawn to this reading, there are obviously a multitude of reasons, but it just feels like there's some toxicity that we all need to be done with, or just maybe wrapping up a cycle full of a lot of um, issues. Interesting. Do you see how the devil card was pushed backwards? A spirit being like, no more of this. No more of this. We're done. And we're putting this back in the middle of the deck because we don't even want to look at it at this point, right? Those people, that situation or situations that have held us back or just weighed us down energy wise, right? Or have made us somewhat feel a way that we don't when we walk into that situation. right? I feel like somebody's coming home or getting into a job or meeting up with friends and they feel good about themselves, and then you leave that situation or you stick with it and it just doesn't feel healthy, right? Or you don't feel as if you can reach the top, you can exceed everything that you're capable of, right? You just feel as if for some of you there's a toxic energy or multiple in your midst at this time. And I feel like a lot of us are being pushed away from that by spirit in the universe. But with the King of Wands coming out, you're just being pushed to take command of your own life, to be the leader of your own life. And for a lot of you, a lot of us, I should say, a leader for many others. Some of you that could be more so just your family atmosphere, being a leader in that sense. Either way, it just feels like it's this next chapter of your life or what you're moving towards. It's going to allow you and make it a lot easier to be you, to be the strongest version of you, to feel like, as I'm drawn to this cape, I don't know why I just got so happy, to feel like a superhero in your own way, right? And that could sound corny, absolutely. That could sound a bit lame for some people, but to me, it's amazing. It's like, yeah, you're a freaking superhero. And in the eyes of others, you could feel as if people just look up to you or just will moving forward to guide the way for yourself and others once again, to remember that you can reach the possibilities that once felt unattainable. With the Justice card, it's a reminder through this reading and moving forward, the changes that you're implementing or being pushed to make, with a little bit of adjusting and keeping that hope alive, justice is coming into play for you individually. For there's a reason, once again, you were drawn to this reading slash dream video. Your interest in spirituality and tarot readings and the unknown is going to assist you moving forward. Just tread carefully. You know, don't get too curious to the point where it leads you to some tricky situations, right? Or some unnecessary difficulties, but I do feel like the scales are balancing out for you in a lot of ways, and it may feel like it in certain areas and not so much in others, or you may feel like certain changes just keep coming to be. But wouldn't you rather have spirit in the universe protect you from certain difficulties, a worse situation outcome down the line, than to stick with something, you know what I mean? Then I just feel as if, again, spirit sees a lot more behind your back, not to sound negative, but they hear more, they see more, and it's like, yeah, it may have gotten to a negative point or it may not have. Either way, you're being pushed to move towards your level of justice and to, in a sense, trust that more balance is coming into play for you. Well deserved. Because I feel like, especially if you were drawn to this video, you haven't had it truly easy. And it feels like you're going to be stepping into a chapter, or just have, where a lot of work is being put into play, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. And a lot of you might feel like hearing this, like, oh God, I already have been up until this point. But it's a different kind. You know, you may be switching of jobs or just a new level of or kind of effort. You know, it may feel like you're just, for some of you, I was just about to put this at the tip of this Queen of Swords. You might be saying, enough to overworking myself, right? If you can see the hand there, all the power to you if that's your case. Some of you feeling like a level of stability comes first and foremost, and therefore you never sort of were courageous enough or never felt you had the ability or the choice to say no to extra work or to working yourself to the bone. I feel like a lot of us won't be shy of working a lot moving forward, but it does feel like you're reminded the possibilities are endless at this time, as long as you pick and choose and work towards what you want in a healthy manner, all right? Be decisive, excuse me, as I struggle. Seven of Swords coming out. What you're learning about your life, about your spirituality, about the possibilities, it feels like you might be quite secretive moving forward, okay? Or have been recently, not wanting to tell everybody and their mother about what you're going through. But at the same time, it feels like it'll come out to the surface. It'll be open knowledge for the most part at some point. But for now, it's like you don't need to feel the need to spill the beans, what you've been going through. For some of you, it might be more of like a healing process to tell some of which, but I do feel like um, just keep that spirit alive as you do tread carefully due to past experiences up to this point as to who you inform about where you're heading, what you're about to achieve, what you expect if you're very intuitive or just have been informed by spirit. All right, with the Four of Pentacles, you're gaining more perspective is what I'm getting, more clarity, right, on the control you're about to feel you have moving forward. You may feel like you've been a bit boxed in. 4477, look up the angel number meaning. There is a message for you in one way, shape, or form. Trust the message that you feel drawn to when you look it up, because there's definitely multiple meanings for each angel number. It feels like in this next chapter, you will have moments where you feel like you almost need to catch your breath because you have a lot going on, a lot of socializing, a lot of more romance and love flowing towards you. But it feels like you're gaining this level of like, I'm finally getting um, on track with my life. I'm finally figuring things out. It might feel like the light has gone out recently, not moving forward, all right? And it's partly why you're being pushed to adjust this or that or make a big life change once again, all right? With the Nine of Swords, it just feels like you are thinking a lot about now, or have been, or will be moving forward, or all of which, about the stress that comes to be from your work or from certain financial investments, or one, okay, however it works for you. It does feel like at times you want to sort of curl up into a ball and just let your emotions out, but then don't feel like you have the proper place to, or don't know, if it's going to get out of hand, or you just kind of want to I feel like some of you just want to suck it up, muster up the courage to just move forward. Now, when certain emotions do come to be moving forward, deal with it in your own way, the way you've learned, up until this point. Just don't allow overworking or just the workload you take on or accept to get you to this emotional state. But there is something to be learned and to be gained from these emotions, okay? With the Princess of Pentacles, you're going to be investing in something new financially moving forward, and that's going to be key for your situation, for the path you're meant to be taking. You're going to find that you can take a step in the right direction as you do feel inclined to spend a lot of time alone, or you might be exiting a very sort of lonely or hermit mode based period of your life. But all the meanwhile, with the Queen of Wands coming out, this is touching base upon the Queen of Swords and justice, right? As well as the Nine of Swords. Putting your foot down to people, places, and situations that have been hindering you or making you feel a certain kind of down way, or just making you a bit emotional or more stressed, and accepting that um, you're still blossoming, you're still growing, you're not perfect, right? Nobody should expect you to be. They need to look in the mirror if they're looking for perfection from you. Even though I feel like for some of you, you do feel as if you exude a level of perfection at times. Own it. I love that confidence. Strut down the street as if you have it going on. But all the meanwhile, you're going to find that the stressful parts of your life or people will just sort of fade away naturally, and that's meant to be. Or you'll find these individuals who are not leaving your life changing in a less stressful manner, being more calming, learning from their old ways. But I do feel like you're just welcoming in the justice naturally. Okay. All the meanwhile, I do feel the need to find it. Just one moment. Bear with me, because this card is so damn relevant. The Spirit's being stubborn and won't give it to me. Bear with me just one moment. I mean, this is part of the reason why they chose this deck. Yeah, it must be the imagery as well. But here we have, not yet, the Two of Pentacles. Do you see this number 8 here? This imagery is so significant because you turn it on its side, and that's exactly what I got when I woke up after I had the dream. Number 8, turned on its side, is an infinity symbol. The possibilities are endless for you at this time as you're pushed to, wow, I should have just shown this before, but I guess everything happens for a reason. What do we have here? An infinity symbol. Coming out twice in this reading. I know I forced this one, but at times you might feel like you have to force it to get to where you want to be. And you'll be reminded you don't need to, okay? The ball's in your court. Your world is going to feel more like it's in your control, right? It's doable to achieve what you can because of the releasing of people, places, and situations once again that no longer work for you. Letting go of the difficulties, the stress, the burdens, what weighs you down and makes things feel less colorful, and accepting that you can manifest what you desire. The possibilities are truly endless for you at this time. That's why you're drawn to this reading. Don't you dare forget it moving forward. Embrace and adapt to the changes that need to come to be, and just soar to new heights. All right, you got this. So I hope this was truly helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Hoping you have an amazing day, week, and month. Go strut down the street, show everybody what you're made of, and I'll see you next time. Bye.